So for those who are already familiar, I will suggest you can already open up an empty Google spreadsheet. Okay, empty Google spreadsheet. So just in case that you can be ready. Okay, so now already start recording, and good afternoon again, everyone. My name is Katie, and I will be your trainer for today. So the duration of this class will be 1 hour. So I'm going to show you how can we create a battleships game. We are using Google Sheets. Okay, so you are able to create your at the end of this session, you will be able to create your Google spreadsheet, and we are going to add another sheets into the spreadsheet, okay, as needed. And we also going to set a conditional formatting. You will have a look later on what is conditional formatting, and we are going to have a look at these four functions. If is text, is number, and count blank. So we are using these four functions for our today's session in Google Sheets. So you're also going to be able to share and also chat with your online friend, because of course, if you want to play this Google version of Battleship, we need our friend to be online together with us. So now let's proceed. So this is the very first game is actually created in the early 30s. During this time, they are only going to use a piece of paper. Okay, piece of paper where they are going to write like this. Okay, they're going to create the box. Okay, for their battleships, and this is for the enemy ships. So they just put an X, okay, when they want to attack their enemy ships, they just put an X, and then their friend will say, okay, is hit or is it a miss, okay, and then it's more in the 1990, so they come out with a more like a game version, okay, a board game version. So it's something like this, okay, one for you and one is for your friend to play with. So they just mention about the number, and if it's a hit, they're going to put the red pin, okay. If it's a hit, they're going to put the red pin. If it's a miss, they're just going to put on the white pin. Okay, so this is actually how it looks like. And then the most recent version is for Mass Pro. So they created something similar like the old version, but it's just like more modern. So it looks something like this, and also it's easy for you to carry around. Okay, so this is the latest version 1. So now we are going to create a digital version, okay, of our Battleships game. So before we proceed, you must understand. So in the Battleships game, we need a 5 type of battleships. Okay, we have the carrier. So the carrier will have 5 boxes. Okay, for the carrier, it will use 5 boxes, and then for the battleship, it will use 4 boxes. Okay, battleship use 4 boxes. And then we have the cruiser. The cruiser will use 3 boxes. Okay, it's like this. And then we have submarine. Submarine will use 3 boxes as well. And last but not least, we have destroyer. Destroyer will use 2 boxes. Okay, so in total, you should have 5 battleships. So 5 battleship, 5 boxes, 4 boxes, and then 3. For 3 boxes, there are 2 type of ship, and then we have destroyer. So in total, you should have 5 battleship. And then when you create your battleship, when you want to place your battleship, you must understand that it can only go vertical and horizontal. So only can go vertical and horizontal. So you can't make it like this. So it needs to be either vertical and horizontal, and it should not overlap with another ship. Okay, it should not overlap with another ship, and just stick with the 10 times 10 board. So this is the board size. It should be 10 times 10. So it looks something like this. Okay, the board size should be 10 times 10. So it looks like this. So above here is the number. So when you want to attack, so it's similar. You just mention the cell, okay, and then you attack your friend. So this is the rules. So you cannot to place your battleship, it needs to be vertical and horizontal. You cannot overlap with another ships, and the size of your board it should be times 10. Okay, so now we are going to set up our board, okay, in Google Sheet. So you need to create an empty Google Sheet. So just go to your drive, okay, go to your drive, click new, and then choose Google Sheets. So it will pop up an empty Google Sheets. So here, Untitled Spreadsheet, you just click on the Untitled Spreadsheet to give it a name. Okay, to give it a name. So here I give it a name, demo. Now to add another sheet, because we need two. Okay, we need at least two. One is for player one, and the second one it will be for player two. That's why we are creating another sheet, because we need more than one. So now just click on the plus. Okay, if you go to the bottom, there are the plus button on the left. Okay, is to add sheets. So just click on the plus sign, and then now you can see you have sheets 1 and sheets 2. Okay, when you click on the plus button, it will create another sheet for you. Now as you can see, I have sheets 1 and sheets 2. Now, what you need to do, we can rename the sheets to make it easier and to make it for you to understand. We are going to rename the sheets. So how to rename your sheet? So you just click on this one. Okay, there's like a drop down beside your sheet's name. Okay, this is sheet 1, and then you can see like there's a drop down. When you click on the drop down, you have option there: delete, duplicate, copy to, rename, color change, protect sheets, hide sheets. Okay, so now what we are going to do, click on rename. So you just key in the name for that sheet. So now I'm going to rename this sheets player 1, because this is where the player 1 supposed to be. So they are going to play and only open this sheet. Okay, so once you already renamed, that's it, it's done. You can enter. To duplicate a sheet, again it's the same thing. You click on the drop down, you have option duplicate. Okay, duplicate, and then just click on the duplicate. It will make a copy of that sheet. Okay, it will make a copy of that sheet. Okay, why I'm showing you how to duplicate? Actually, it will be a lot easier if you create sheets 1 with what I mean is player 1 board first, and then you just make a duplicate of it. So it's a lot easier if you do that compared to you created the player 1 sheets on sheets 1, and then you created again in sheets 2. To save your times, I would suggest you develop first your board for player 1, and then you duplicate, and then you modify it for player 2. So that is about duplicate, add sheets, and next is to resize. Okay, to resize, because the current size, okay, the current size, this is 100 pixels. Okay, this is 100 pixels, so it's quite big. So we only need actually a very small box. Okay, we don't need it to be this big. And also, if we can resize it and make it smaller later on, it will be a lot easier for us to have a look at it. So now you just highlight. Okay, you just highlight those cell that you wish to resize. So here example, I'm going I highlight A till J. Okay, I highlight 10. Okay, I highlight 10 here, 10 column. Okay, I highlight 10 column A to J, and then you just right click on your mouse, and then you have here resize column A till J. Okay, and then as you can see here, you have this resize column A till J. So you just click on that. After you right click, here you just key in the new number. So I will suggest you just key in 21. Okay, because 21 is also the the size for this number one. Okay, this the size, the height of this. Okay, that's why I choose 21 because I want to make it a box. So here, let me just show you the size. Okay, the size for this one, okay, number 2 is 21 pixel. That's why I want to follow it to be 21x as well. For the column, okay, I want it to follow the row because I want to make a box. Okay, it's a lot. It will be nicer like that. So that's why I choose 21. But if you want to make it bigger, it's totally up to you. Now let's just go back here. Okay, you cannot find the Resize button, so you need to click on the whatever column you want to work on, or you can even highlight a few if you want to. Okay, you can even highlight a few if you want to, and then you need to right click. Okay, you need to right click your mouse, and then you will have the Resize. Okay, do let me know if you still couldn't find it. Okay, now let's just here. So after you resize this is how to resize your box. And now after you resize, see, it will become smaller. Now how to create a borders. So borders is why we want to create I will suggest you to resize it to 21. Okay, 21 because it's the same size of the row. So now if you want to create a border, so border will be created to make a line. Okay, make a line for each cell. So here, if you click on border, so there's a few options you can make. Okay, so either you want to make it all border, outside, inner, so you just choose. But here we are going to choose all borders. And you can also change the color if you want, and you can also change the how thin you want it. So now let's just quick one. Just going to add a new sheet here. Okay, to show you quickly. I'm adding a new sheet, so now I have sheets free. So here to resize, so let's just pick 8 till J again because it's done. Right click, okay, highlight, right click, and now we want to resize it. Just click on resize column. Now I'm going to put 21 just because the row size is 21. Okay, so now we already have it, and now I want to create a border. So there's a few type of border. Okay, here, up here you're looking like a box. So now here is the border. So if you choose all border, as you can see now I have like this line for my border. Okay, and I also inner border. So it looks, let me just empty this one first. Okay, inner border. So only for the inside we'll have that line. But as you can see, the outside, the outline border doesn't have anything. Now this one is, this one what I'm doing is just to clear the border so that I will be able to show you the difference. Okay, so now for this one is horizontal border. So as you can see, only the horizontal line will have a line. This one is vertical border, so the same with horizontal, only the vertical border will have the line. And you also have outer border. So for the outer border, only the outside will have a line. And then this one is the same for the outer. So either you just want it for the left, you want it only for the top, you want it for the right, you want it for the bottom. Again, this one is to clear your border. So choose all border. And then here you can change the color. Okay, whatever color that you want, let's say go with orange. So now as you can see, the line changed to orange color. So here you can choose the size. So you want to make it thicker or you want to make it like less. So it will thin, it will come like this. Okay. So that is about border. So now let's go back here. So that's a border. So next up, conditional formatting. We are going to use this one as well, conditional formatting. So again, conditional formatting, you just choose the cell that you want to be used. Okay, you just click on the cell, and then here you choose conditional formatting. Again, right click, choose conditional formatting. Okay, what is conditional formatting? Okay, this is conditional formatting. So here, what you need to, why you want to use it is because later on, we are going to use conditional formatting to see if you hit your opponent, if you miss, okay, if you miss, and also if the cell is empty. Okay, I'm going to show you about conditional formatting, and also if you're currently player 1, and then if currently was playing will be player 2. Okay, conditional formatting. So here, you just choose the range that you want to use, and then here you can choose, okay, you can choose whatever range here that you want to apply this conditional formatting. Okay, choose the range that you want to apply this conditional formatting, and then click OK after you already choose the range. And here, if you go to the this one, okay, format cell if, okay, here you can choose a lot. It's empty, it's not empty. So if it's empty, for here, for my case, I'm going to choose is empty, just to show you that if A1 till J10, which is from here, A1 till J10 up to here, okay, is empty, so now it will become green color. Okay, is empty, now it will become green color. This is just to show you that how can you use conditional formatting, because later on we are going to check if you miss or if you hit. So if you miss, is going to be any color that you want, but for example later I will show you if you miss, it will going to display a black color on the cell, and if you hit your opponent, the cell will become red color. Okay, so there is where we are going to apply our conditional formatting. Now remember, we are going to use 4 types of function. So the first one is if function. Okay, if function. So if function returns the value if it's true, if it's false. Okay, so example here, if 1 equals to 1, if it's true, okay, so remember the first one will be the value if true. So if this logical expression is, the answer is true, okay, if, so this one is true, the logical expression is true, so it's going to return this value, the first value, and then followed by the second value. So as you can see here, the first one, if 1 equals to 1, so 1 equals to 1 is the logical expression. Okay, 1 equals to 1 is the logical expression, and then this is the value if it's true, and this is the value if it's false. So if 1 equals to 1, is it true? If it's true, so return this. If it's false, return this. So that's why it's written true. Okay, because 1 equals to 1 is true. So the value true is the first value that you give it, which is true. So that's why it's displayed true. So another one, logical expression. Is -1 bigger or larger than 0? If it's true, it will show greater. But if it's false, it will return smaller. Since -1 is not bigger than 10. Okay, since -1 is not larger and bigger than 10, that's why it's false. If it's false, so the return value will be the second value, which is smaller, because this is the value if it's true, and since this is false, that's why it's written smaller. So the next one, if Google equals to Google, okay, if Google equals to Google, So if it's true, equal. If it's not true, it will show unequal. Google equals to Google, the answer is yes, it's equal. So that's why, as you can see, the result here is equals. So this is for if function. We are going to use this a lot, okay? Next up is text function, okay? Is text function is used, okay, if you whenever you want to check whether a value is a text, okay, whether a value is a text. Later on, when you create your battleship, you can choose either one. Either you want to use is text or either you want to use is number. The function is the same except is text checks the value, checks whether a value is a text. Is number checks whether a value is a number. Okay, so example here is text function. Here, okay, here is the syntax is text, and then you make a bracket and then you put the value. Since Google Sheet is a string, is a character, so we call it a string of character. You need to put this one, okay, okay, and then you put Google Sheets, okay, Google Sheets, and then it's going to check if this one is a text. So the answer is true. It's going to return the result true. So is text. So I'm checking is does number 3. Number 3 doesn't need any string. Okay, if you want to key in number, you just key in directly. You doesn't need a string like you key in the Google Sheets. Okay, so now is text. I'm checking number 3. Is does number 3 is a text. So the answer is false. Next up is text A7. I will show you the full screen. So okay, A7 actually I key in sols, SOLS. So that's why it's give me true. And then here A8 actually I put numbers 247. That's why it's come out false. I will show you the complete screen for my sheets. This one later on. And then this one is number. So it's similar with is text. It checked if it's a number. So it checked is number Google Sheets. Google Sheet is a text, remember? That's why it's false. Is number 3? Yes, number 3 is a number. That's why it's come out true. Again, A7 is actually SOLS. Since it is a text, a letter, that's why it's written false. A8, so this is referred to my other box. So in this A8 cell, I have 247. That's why it's written true. So now let's just open up this one. Okay, all right. So as you can see here, so this is if, okay, if. So it's checking 1 equals to 1, true, it will return true. If it's false, it will return false. So let's just say yes, okay. If 1 equals to 1, if it's true, it will return yes. So let me just enter this just to show you. So it will follow whatever value that you give it. It will follow whatever value that you pass to this value cell. Okay, so since this one 1 equals to 1, the answer is yes. That's why you show it's yes. So let me just fix this again. True. Okay, it can be sorry. Okay, so next one, -1 bigger than 0. So the answer is wrong. So false. So it will give the second value, which is smaller. Google equals to Google, so it is true. So this is the answer, and if it's not true, it will follow this one, unequal. So is text, like I told you, A7 is my cell. A7, I have SOLS. Okay, so this is A7 and this is A8. So when it's going to check your cell, okay, is text A7. So does A7 is a text, so the answer is true. And is text A8, so it's going to check if my A8 is a text, but since it is not a text, okay, A8 is not a text, that's why it's written false. Is number is the same. It's going to check if Google Sheet is a number, so the answer is false. Is number, so it's going to check number 3, so you doesn't need the string, so you just key in any number. Oops, sorry, this is just, here is the real key. So you just key in any number. So if it is a number, so it's just going to give you true. If it's not a number, if it's going to give you false. So here you can also refer to another cell. Okay, if you want to check another cell, so is number A7. So A7 is not a number, so it's a false. So here A8, so you're going to check if it's A8 is a number, so the answer is true. So next up is the count blank. Let me just return this back to normal. Okay, count blank. Count blank is simple. You actually it's just going to count how many cell is blank. Okay. For example, here count blank A3 B4. So from A3, so my A3 is this one, yeah. This is A3. So this is the cell A3. B4. So B4. So B4 is this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In total, there are actually 4 cells. They're going to count it that way. From A3 to B4, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many cell is blank? So the answer is 2 because A4 and B4 is empty. Count blank again, A4 till B4. So so this is A4, B4. Okay, A4, B4. So again, I only have here two blank cell. That's why it gave me a number of 2. Okay, count blank is simple, but this is also another key that you need to key in when you create your Battleships game. Okay, wait. So far, any question for the 4 functions? I think I saw one. I would suggest you try it out later on because it's just that you can practice and see how it actually works. I will suggest you to try it out because later on you can see actually how it works. Okay, any question for the functions so far? So everybody okay with the functions? No questions? Okay. So next, if there's no question about the function, we are going to create our game. So first of all, you need to create your board. Okay, your board. So in total, there should be four board. Okay. Player 1 board is this one. Okay, player 1 board is your board. You going to place your ship, your battleship here. Okay, player 1 board is for you. You are going to place your battleship here. Okay, player board 2, okay, this one as player 2 board. Okay, here you can see actually if you hit them, where are you going to hit them? This one, player 1 attack board. So when you attack your opponent, okay, you are going to put X to attack, and then you can see here what happened. If you miss, it's going to show a black, it will become black. If it's a hit, it will become red. Okay, the reason why we need a separate board because when you put we cannot override it. For example, here if I put X on the cell, the formula, the function that you key in will be gone. That's why we need a separate one. Okay, we cannot use the same player 2 board because if you key in something here, and then it will be difficult. It's not be possible for it to check with the function. Okay, you cannot key in any function because you already key in X, therefore you cannot key in any function. That's why, as you can see here, I have a separate board. So this one, for you to attack, and then here you can see the result. If it's a hit, if it's a miss. Down here you can see if what happened to your battleship. Okay, what happened to your battleship? If your opponent hit you, So similar, you can see if you got hit, it will become red. If it's a miss, it will become black. Okay, so your job is only to key in these two, but this one required formula. Okay, these two board required a formula, and for you, you only needs to be in charge of putting these two. So player one board is for you to put your ship. Player one attack board is for you to choose whatever cell that you want to attack your opponent. These two required function. Okay, so this one is totally up to you if you want to put it, but for my case here, I'm just showing you, so I just put it here. So battleship, again, remember you need 5 type of battleship: carrier, battleship, a cruiser, submarine, and destroyer. Indicator, so X is for attack. If you want to use a number, feel free to do so. Okay, so it just later on when you key in the function, you use is number instead of is text. So here black color for miss, red color for hit. So here also I'm going to show turns. Turns is showing who turns right now. So here you are going to use count blank. Okay, here for the player, you are going to use count blank. So now let's move on. Okay, so here the first one is for this one, player to board. So we are going to work on this one. Okay, we are going to work on this one. We want to check if it's a hit or if it's a miss. So what is the function? So you are going to use if because we want to check and we want to return value. Okay, if, and then remember, so this is the one that we want to check. The logical expression is this one, and then if it's true, so this is the value. If it's false, this is the value. Again, this is if, and then you are going to check if it's a text, and this is the value if it's true, and this is the value if it's false. The reason why we assign value here, is later on for our conditional formatting. Okay, you will see as I go on why we need to give a value if it's true and if it's false. Again, to emphasize, this is actually later on if you want to see if it's a hit or if it's a miss. That's why we want to give it a value. So what actually we are doing here, as you can see if, so it's checking is text B10. So this is referred to your attack bot. So let's go back here. It's going to check your attack bot. Okay, so here your attack bot, remember down here is your attack bot. So B18 is this one. Okay, B18 is this one. It's going to check if, okay, if this B18, okay, if this B18, okay, if this B18 is a text, so it's going to return the value 2. Okay, this one, if this one is a text, okay, if you put something here, if you put X, that means you attack that person, it's already going to give you the value of 2. Next up, if going to check with your opponent board, okay, with your opponent board, it's going to check is text player 2 B4. So actually player 2 board is totally the same with this one. Okay, so player 2 B4, it's referred to the player 2 board, which is this one. This is the board. Okay, this is the board where you put all your ship. Okay, wherever your ship will be placed here. So you just key in here. When you attack, it's going to compare if actually your opponent puts something in that cell. Okay, you're going to check if your opponent put something in that cell. If your opponent put something in that cell, that means is a text, it's true, it's going to return the value of 1. If your opponent doesn't put anything there, it's going to return the value 0. Okay, now I want you to check again why we are doing this calculation. So actually the numbers involved here will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, because 0 plus 0 will be 0, 0 plus 1, it will be 1. So 2 plus 0, it will be 2. 2 plus 1, it will be 3. Okay, so if ISTEXT B18, so let's say if you don't put anything. Okay, let's say you didn't key in anything. You didn't attack your opponent here. Okay, you didn't attack your opponent here. So then it will return you the value of 0 because you didn't attack your opponent yet. So it will give you the value of 0. So it's going to plus and see if your other player key in something in that box. Okay, key in something in that box. So if your opponent doesn't key in anything in that box, okay, means that your opponent didn't put the shape on the box, it will return 0. But then let's say if your opponent put something in that box, it will give 1. 0 and 1. Okay, if you didn't attack, it will only return two numbers. Either it going to return number 0 or number 1. If your opponent didn't put anything, it will be 0. If your opponent put something, it will become 1. And then let's say if you attack, okay, if you attack and it's true, it's a text. Okay, means that in that box B18, you put X, you attack your opponent, it will return the value of 2. And then it's going to check your opponent board. Okay, is text player, if your opponent put the ship there, it will return 1, so will become the total of 3. If the opponent didn't put anything there, it will return 0, so makes the total 2. Okay, remember 0 and 1, it will result empty. Okay, means that it's not in use. Okay, you didn't attack your opponent. And even you attack, that means as a miss. So let's say for number 2, you key in something and then it's actually empty on your opponent, it's a miss, so it will return 2. Then if you key in something and your opponent put the ship there, it will return 3, which is causes a hit. We will have a look more deeply into this. Okay, this is the one that we are going to use. So once you're done, you only need to key in these ones, which is in this sorry, let me say what in N4. Okay, you just need to key in these ones and then you just drag everything, so it will become like this 0, because we didn't put anything yet, so it doesn't return us any value. Okay, so now if you just drag your just copy paste everything, it will become like this. All boxes will become 0. So here down here, now we are going to key in function for this one, player 2 attack board. So this is the opponent view. Okay, so to check with you if they hit you or they miss. Okay, this one is just for you to check if they actually managed to hit you or did they miss. So here again we are going to use ISTEXT. Okay, ISTEXT. So here for this one, if before this we are going to check with this particular cell, but now for this one we are going to check with our player 1 board, with our board, because we are going to compare if we put anything in our player board. Okay, that's why you can see in our function we are referring to our player 1 board. Okay, so it's going to check our board. So again, if we have something, it will return 1. If we don't have anything, it will return 0. And then this one refer to player 2 sheet, player 2 attack board. Okay, because they also have their own attack board, the player 2. And then to see if your opponent player board, they put X. Okay, again, it's the same concept. If they put X and you have something, it will return 3, which is a hit. If they put X and you didn't put anything there, it will return, okay, it will return 2, which is a miss. Okay, so now again you just drag it. Okay, you just copy paste the same formula again. So now this is how I'm going to show you. If you put your ships, okay, if you put your ships, it will come 1 1 1 1. The value now will become 1 because you do have something on that cell. Okay, because you do have something is a text, remember, so it's going to check if it's a text and return the value 1 if it is a text. Okay, if you want to avoid cheating, this is after you created the Battleships games. If you want to avoid cheating, what I can suggest you later on, you need to highlight everything here, your board, only your board, player one board, and then you make it a black color or any color that not visible to the opponent, just in case to avoid cheating. So after you key in you already key in your battleship, you already allocate your battleship, and I will suggest you just to highlight everything and fill up like a black color maybe, so that your opponent will not be able to have a peek and to see where did you place your battleships. So this one is okay. And this one is without any conditional formatting. Remember, we are going to use conditional formatting for the miss and the hit. Okay. So now just to show you the value. So here, let's say I'm going to put here XX. Okay, for your information that for player 2, I just use the same location. Okay, player 2 board, player 2 battleship, okay, is allocate the same as a player 1. So it will be the same like this. So that's why, as you can see here, when I attack A1, so A1 is empty, it will return 2. Okay, it will return 2. If it's empty, okay, if it's a miss, it will return 2. So here for the C90, okay, so here for their 2B here, they have their ship. Okay, they have their ship. So it's a hit. When it's a hit, it will return number 3. Okay, it will return number 3. So here is where you are going to use a conditional formatting. Okay, conditional formatting. So remember, right click conditional formatting. So now I just highlight these boxes, okay, which is from N to W here. I highlight these boxes. So I just put in, if it's less than 2, which means it's less than 2 means that it's not a hit, it's not a miss. Okay, it's not a hit, it's not a miss. So the value that we will return is 0 and 1. 0 if the cell doesn't have anything, 1 if you put your battleship on it. Okay, 1 will be written if you put battleship on it, and 0 will be written if you don't put anything on it. That's why we set the value here less than 2. Because if it's 2, that's mean you attack and it's a miss. That's why we put the condition here less than 2. It means it's either it's not a hit, it's not a miss. Okay, means either you put something or the cell is empty. So here you just change the background. For here I just put the background white, and then I also change the font white so that the number will not visible. So if before you can see the number, okay, with 0 and 1, okay, before you can see the number 0 and 1, so now you will not be able to see the number 0 and 1. Okay, so do the same with these boxes as well. Okay, do the same. You just put another condition formula with this one. Okay, do the same. So that's why, as you can see now, it's become blank, but actually there's a value. Okay, actually there's a value, which is the function. And then again, do the same for number 2 and 3. So just a reminder, number 2 is a miss. Okay, if it's equals to 2 is a miss. Because when you attack, it will return 2. And your opponent doesn't have anything on it, so it will return 0. And the total will become 2. So here, equal to 2. And then here, value is equal to 3. If your attack your opponent, it already written you 2. And then if your opponent put the ship there, it will return 1. So that's why it becomes 3 and it's a hit. So here you just make it a red color or any color that you want. So it will become something like this. Next up, we are going to talk about the count blank. Okay, remember the count blank is actually to check how many blank cell that you have. So here, I count blank for the attack board. We are going to count how many blank space in the attack board. For example, here, this is player 1 board. So I'm just checking in between this one and this one, how many blank. So in total, it should be, here it will show 98 because I already attacked 2 times. Okay, it will show me 98. And then here, for this one, it will compare player 2. How about the player 2 attack board in player 2? So since player 2 haven't attacked yet, that's why it written here 100% because they haven't attacked you. So now, supposedly, it's player 2 turn. And here is where we are going to combine our formula. Okay, we are going to use if and also we are going to use count blank. So here, it's going to check for your current player, which is player 1. Okay, this is the attack board. Okay, it's going to check your attack board and then it's going to minus with the player 2 attack board. Okay, if it's less than 0, okay, if it's less than 0, that means it's player 2 turn. Okay, that means that let's say yours are smaller than player 2. Okay, that means your turn. Okay, it will become player 1. So here it's just going to check if it's true, if it's false. Count blank. So here is your attack board and then they're going to calculate with your player 2 attack board who actually, if it's written negative, okay, if it's written negative means that your number is bigger than your opponent. Okay, if it's written negative, that means it's negative, it's below than 0, that means it's the player 2 turn. Let's say you haven't moved yet, so you're 100, okay, on blank. So your attack board is 100, you haven't made any move yet. And then your minus, let's say player 2 already move once, okay, move once. So the total count blank will be 99. 100 minus 99 equals to 1. 1 lesser than 0 is a false. So it will show you player 1. Okay, this is for count blank. Any question for count blank? So for count blank, we just use it to calculate like who moves, whose turn. And to do that, we are using count blank to see who haven't made any move yet. Okay, so it's going to check who attack more and who attack less. So who attack more, so means that the one that attack less turn is now. Okay, so this is count blank just to check your turns. Whose turns now? So to play with the game, okay, to play the game, of course, you need to share and kindly ensure that you give your friend with the edit access so they can edit the sheets. Okay, to share, just do simply click on share button, key in your friend, okay, key in your friend email address and then can you ensure it's an editor access because else your friend will not be able to work and play the game with you. Next up, another feature you can use is you can chat with your friend. Okay, when you're while you are playing, you can chat with your friends. So up here you can see list of online user. Okay, you can see list of online user who are currently online. And then you can just click on this one to show the chat. So here you can start chatting with your friend. So now let's just go to the ones that I already created. Do let me know if you can't see it clearly. So here again we have the 4 board. This is my board where I'm going to put my battleship. So this is player 2 board. So here I attack and I can see if it's a miss. Okay, if it's a miss, of course right now everything is a miss because we haven't put our battleship yet. Okay, so here is to see if your opponent managed to hit you. So here, okay, it's going to check whose turn. Okay, you're going to check whose turn. So let's say, let's just let's just put our battleship first, yeah. So here, I already have carrier, and then I'm going to put our battleship here to cruisers, submarine, destroyer. Okay, let's say I'm just going to use the same for player 2. Okay, so this is player 2 board. So now this is your attack board. So now who's turn? Player 1. I just use. Okay, so this one is a miss. Okay, it's empty. Okay, this one is empty. As you can see here, it put X. Okay, I already attacked and it's empty. It will become black because it's a miss. So let's say this one, 7B. Okay, 7B actually have a ship. We're going to put X. As you can see now, it's become red because it's a hit. So now it's player 2 turn. Okay, let's just go back to player 2. Let's say here I'm just going to put player 2 like this one. So where's X? Okay, so X is a miss. So this one 7C, that's nothing. Okay, 7C, that's nothing. So let's go up here and put an X. It's a hit. Okay, it's a hit. So now it's become red. So as you can see here, play 1 attack board. So this one you can see where if your opponent already hit you. So yes, your opponent already hit you, which is this one. Okay, 7B, as you can see here. 7B, they put something which is the plant the bomb. So here they plant the bomb, so it will come 7 here. It will become red color. So remember how to do that is actually by using ISTEXT function. If it's a 3, okay, it's a hit, so it's become red. That's why we key in this in the early beginning. If it's written 2, it's a miss, okay. And then if it's 0, it's a blank, so that's why we give it the white color background. This one. Again, just a reminder, if you want to avoid that your opponent have a pick on your where did you put your ship, so another thing you can do, you just highlight yours and then make it a black color. So it will like this one. So your opponent will not know where actually your ship until they're just okay. So here, okay, they don't know where's your ship, and then until they just click XX here. So as you can see, it will become like this one. Okay, it's a hit. They will not be able to know, but then it just so that means they just playing. So but don't worry about your ship, it will still be there. Okay, your ship is still be there. It's just for you to cover your screen so that your friend will not be able to view where did you put your battleship. Okay, any question for now? Is there any question that you're not clear with? Or any function that you are not sure? Is everybody okay? Can you create your own Battleship game after this? Okay, let me just share with you this one so that you can have a look. Wait, yeah. So I'm just going to share with anyone with the link. I'm going to give you comments. So feel free to comment if you have any comment. Copy, done. So here. Okay, so from there you can have a look at mine. So it's only commenter. So what I can suggest, you can make your own copy so that you can just change it. Remember, so it doesn't necessary to be it's a text, and it doesn't need to be necessarily be in a O. It can be any text, because we are do set this one as is a text. So even I put G is going to be the same. Okay, even I put G is going to be the same as long as a text. So it's totally up to you. And if you put it is number, so don't forget it needs to be is a number. Okay, it needs to be is number. Now it's a text. That's why. And then if you wish to put number and use number, so put in is number. Yes, I will work. Yep, I'm going to upload it as soon as possible. Ong Kang Ming, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. We apologize, but I'm unable to share the slide with you directly. So just do let me know if you have issue to access the. Oh, sorry. Okay. So this one, as you can see, all these have a formula on it. So the only things that doesn't have formula, the only board that doesn't have any formula will be these two. Okay, play one board, play one attack board, but play two board, and also this one will have something on it. So here, let me just clear this. So to play again, so you just remove these two, but do not touch these two, because in these two, we already have the function. Yep, I will upload this in my YouTube channel so that you can have a look at the slide and you can just pause to read the slide. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay, if there is no more question, thank you very much again for joining. Do ask me if you have any questions still, feel free.